Hey there.
Hello, everybody.
And welcome back to Who's the Bitch?
Is it you? Is it me? Is it we? We don't even know.
Yes. Hopefully, you're cracking a buzzball first thing in the morning
God,
on your way to work. Just kidding. We hope you're not doing that.
No, don't do that. But maybe it's at the end of your day. And also, get your balls up.
Yeah.
We don't have our balls right now.
We're going to bring balls back into the studio. We're bringing balls back into the studio.
Yes, you know what? We're bringing woman-owned balls back into this studio because Kara did just say, I know that we usually just kind of drink during the bitchathons, but what if we started
Why don't we just be doing it during these? Come on, we gotta get this party fucking started.
Yeah,
the other
gotta be giving advice.
Is if you want to watch us drink a budge ball, if you want to see us drink a buzz ball live,
and if you find a budge ball, let us know what's inside of it, and does it clunk down the back of your throat?
If you want to drink buzz balls live with us, please join us on June 11th.
Yes,
for the bitchathon, which is going to be at 4 p.m. Western Pacific time and 7 p.m. Eastern time. And if you live in between there, figure it out. And it's going to be at our YouTube, which is youtube.com/@who'sthebee.
Yes.
And hopefully you're listening to this on, you're in your car on your way to work or something like that, but maybe you're watching us right now on YouTube. It's right here. You're already here. So on June 11th, we'll be taking live calls. I don't know what we'll be fucking doing.
We're
probably going to come up with some stuff.
We're going to be playing bitch bingo.
Bitch bingo.
We're certainly, and you know that Eric's going to make those babies show up on the screen at some point, but they're going to be ready for some summer fun.
It's the anniversary. It's the 1 year anniversary of the babies. Because the babies first made an appearance at our last summer bitchathon where they were in a little kiddie pool. Let's see what those little freaks are going to be doing this year.
So strap on a diaper, get your balls.
Get a diaper on. You don't need to miss any of it and go to the bathroom like a bitch.
Especially if you're calling in, what are you going to miss it by going to the bathroom? I guess we're talking about this as if it's like when you had to run to use the bathroom in commercials when you were a kid. It's back on, it's back on. As you're like, I'm trying.
hurry. Someone's calling in about a secret sibling. I got to get back to the show. I mean, also, there might be replay. Also, it will be on YouTube afterwards if you miss anything. You can't go back to it.
You don't really have to do that. You don't have to strap a diaper on.
Watching it live is so fun because the chat is really fun. Like, everybody on the chat is so funny and there's like lots of jokes
also
and
because I love that you guys listen to the show and oftentimes you have feelings that you don't agree with us. Come to us live. Tell us live in the chat that you don't agree with us.
In the chat.
We can take it. And we
call in to yell at us. I'd love it.
Either way.
Call in and go, you gave the worst advice in episode number, but have receipts.
Yes.
Because we're going to defend ourselves.
Yes. To the death.
So wait, let me tell you this. This is okay. We're going to get into this is unsolicited advice that we do where we just kind of talk about
what's going
general
down.
Bitchery in the world where no one has asked us to weigh in, but we're weighing in. So
please weigh in.
I know,
I feel like I'm at Weight Watchers.
I know this is coming out a couple weeks later, but I did see The Devil Wears Prada. As my friends and I are calling it the Devil Wears Prada because I think somebody missaid that. We just thought it was really funny. So The Devil Wears Prada 2, which we're writing as TOO. That came out and I went to see it the night before it opened. Like it opened technically on May 1st and I went to go see it on April 30th.
So were you a huge
Yes, I love the first movie. I love the first movie. Love it, love it. The second one, I was very it's not happening. Like I thought remember the AI movie poster would come out for it and I'd be like, stop.
Please don't do this.
Yeah, you know who's the bitch? Are these accounts that are just posting fake crap all the time about reality shows going, your favorite reality star just got booted off the show. And then you Google it and it's not true at all.
Especially with all the AI stuff where it's like, guys, a lot of it is very easy to see pretty fast that it's AI.
But just Google it really quick before you're like, oh my God, I just heard this. It's but now it's every day is April Fool's.
Yes.
Every day is somebody going, just kidding. I made this up. Teresa Giudice is not getting kicked off Real Housewives of New Jersey. Not that would be a problem for me, but you know what I'm saying. So anyway, I go to see the Devil. So I was once it started coming out and the press tour happened, I was like,
you were genuinely excited.
I'm jazzed. So we go see it. Also because my schedule didn't really allow me to go see it this week after it opens. So I was like, let's go the first night. There was a little step and repeat. It was really fun. It was cute. We got to pose with cardboard cutouts of Meryl Streep and Stanley Tucci and Anne Hathaway and Emily Blunt. It was great. The movie.
Were they rolling their eyes at each other or were they just?
No, it was they were posed, you know? But the movie is so fun. First of all, my review is that I loved it. I think as sequels go, it's great.
Really?
Like, so many sequels are bad. They added in a couple characters that really made me laugh.
Love this.
Justin Theroux being one of them. His character is hilarious.
Even after what he did to Jennifer Aniston.
At this point, he's got a new wife and a baby.
know.
We gotta move on.
He got it.
The country's so mad at anybody who's ever wronged Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah. I agree with the country, okay? Look, she shouldn't have to go through what she has to go through and also receive $20 million a year for not doing anything, okay?
I met her once in person and her eyes are
stunning.
Truly, she is stunning.
How
and
tight.
A wonderful, like, warm presence.
Oh, that's really nice. I'm sorry, it's not about how tight she is.
This was 20 years ago that I met her.
And I bet she's still, she still looks like an absolute machine in a great way.
Yeah. So what was fun about this was not only did we get a truncated version of Nicole Kidman's We Come to This Place for Magic, which obviously I'm in a theater with like mostly women and gay men. And there's a group behind us that are mostly women and gay men. And everybody's clapping when old cast people show up
when
in the movie.
AMC Burbank, I'm telling you, and for anyone that listens to Page 7, people still clap for Nicole Kidman at almost every viewing we go to.
Yes, that people were into. But I'm talking once the movie started.
Okay,
Once the movie started, obviously you see Anne Hathaway, people are clapping. You see when Emily Blunt comes in, you clap. When Meryl Streep, you clap. With Stanley Tucci, you're clapping. So we're clapping, and everybody's having a really good time. You can feel the camaraderie in the audience, and I do love when there's a movie experience like that. So then what happens next is Emily Blunt comes on the screen for the first time, and everybody claps.
Everybody claps.
And as soon as the clapping goes down, a guy from behind me goes, "She was in the first one," and that made me laugh. Okay, everybody I was with, we were laughing.
Yes.
Okay, and I think what we did was we accidentally gave permission because we laughed at that person. We accidentally gave him permission to speak and make comments the rest of the movie. So it didn't ruin my movie experience. I obviously loved it, but this guy and his friends were making like, not yelling out as loud as he did that one, but like comments at this level. It's like, oh, she's this person, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, I remember she did this. Like, just full volume. Not screaming, but full volume combo in the middle. And by the end, we were like annoyed.
Yes.
So I know they're the bitch for talking throughout a movie.
But you did give the laugh go ahead.
We gave the laugh. And is there something about, it's not like it was during... why am I blanking on
the
that?
Prince of Tides.
Yeah, it's like, what's that movie that came out about that was in German that was about the Holocaust that had the amazing sound score that was called
I know, right next to it. Zone of Interest.
I think it has the word zero in it, but it's zone.
Zone of Interest.
So it's like, it's not like we're in zone of interest and someone's going, uh-oh, he's a Nazi. You know what I mean?
That's real what happened, right? There goes their heads.
Do I need to curb my bitchy feelings for them because we were at like sort of a campy movie where there was like definitely a vibe of like, not like it's full Rocky Horror Picture Show, but it's more of a vibe of like, yes. Oh my God, that outfit is amazing. Whatever.
Yes,
it's a little bit more.
I do think that it is more
It's a bit of a yassified movie.
It's a yassified. It's a yassified movie because I think that a lot of people, again, are not coming to it for its like, Oscar winning
We're not there
abilities.
to be like, oh my gosh, this is going to be Meryl's 8th Oscar or whatever.
But I do feel that it would not have been bitchy for one of you guys to turn around and be like, hey guys, we can just hear like everything you say if you could just turn it down like a little bit.
We could have.
I know that wouldn't have been bitchy, but I also feel like in a situation like that, and I am going to say this because as a person like this, that when I'm with my friends, I feel more bold, that you never know, is that going to torque up the situation?
And I didn't want to like squash anybody's joy or anything. And to be honest, like because it wasn't like a zone of interest, it wasn't like bothering me. If it's like a plot heavy movie where I'm like, I got to figure this out and I need to hear details and there's long moments of silence and someone's talking, like that wasn't it. This movie had like pop songs blaring and like, it wasn't like it was,
But I understand getting annoyed by it.
But we were like, come on, just enough. Honestly, Guy, you got us on that first laugh and nothing could ever really measure it up after that.
That is also, I think the biggest bitchery of it was that what the commentary was did not continue to be funny. I feel like that's where it stops being
polite and starts being real.
Bitchy. Yes. I feel like it is, because it's like, then in the same way as I feel like if you're going to make a joke, and I know this is quite a jump, but if you're going to make a joke as a comedian that's kind of on a line of like, maybe I shouldn't be saying this, and it's not very like knockdown, drag out funny, what's the point? So I feel like it's also, what's the point if you're not going to be funny through it and you're just like explaining the movie to your friends?
Well, the
then
other
it's like,
thing,
well, okay.
I mean, the other thing is just like, obviously we've talked about this on this podcast before, but it's like post-COVID etiquette is like out the window for everything.
Yes.
You know, like I have friends who like I actually saw this movie, The Devil Wears Prada, with my friend Nicole, who used to host a show on Netflix called Nailed It. And she does stand up and she says people yell out Nailed It at her shows all the time. And like, I know there's like parasocial. And it is funny how parasocial is becoming more of like a commonplace word, and people like understand like, oh my God, you're my parasocial bestie or whatever. But people think, oh, my friend won't mind if I yell this out or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
but if they're in the middle of a performance,
they're performing live.
Talking about this with Isa Briones from the Pit,
you were telling me about this.
Because Isa Briones is on Broadway currently. And
that is Trinity. Isn't her name Dr. Trinity? Wait, no. Isn't her name Trinity Santos?
Santos.
That's
yes.
Dr. Trinity Santos from the Pit.
From the Pit.
The one who's like got a sour attitude, but she's a great doctor.
Yes, but she's on Broadway right now playing a very different character. And in between like her scenes and stuff, people are like, did you finish your charts? What about your charts?
Which is a reference to the show.
To the show The Pit. And it's like, I believe she's playing Connie Francis on Broadway. Like, and so she is now out, like coming out being like, can you stop
doing that?
Can you stop screaming that in the middle of my performance?
I just feel like we don't understand like group experiences anymore somehow.
Right.
Again, we've talked about this before, I think, on this podcast, is hyper individualism and everybody being kind of like me, and only thinking about themselves.
And being used to being alone inside of their homes.
Yeah, and like, oh, this will be so funny, I'm just going to yell it. Or they'll love it if I yell this. Or,
no one wants you to yell it. Can we just say no one ever wants you to yell it?
Yeah, I have something to say. Why can't I say it to my friend in a like regular outdoor voice?
It's crazy because as someone that goes to a lot of comedy shows, because we're a part of different comedy shows, I see better behavior. A friend of mine, Julia Johns, hosts a full show called The Littlest Late Show.
Oh yes, my kids were on it.
Yes, where she has kids come on. It's like a late night show, but it's in the middle of the day. And so most of the audience members are children. In those audiences, I get that the kids see the kids on stage, and so they're screaming out from the audience. That's a part of the experience. What's crazy to me is that drunk adults are way worse than any of the kids that were in that audience of being like, oh, I see someone on stage. It's like I'm on stage. No, it's not. And the kids were better at controlling themselves than most adults are, of like in the same way where it's like you're just ruining someone's performance.
You either think they're going to love it, and I'm here to tell you that they're not, or you think that you're going to get a laugh from the audience. You're probably not. You know, that guy got one laugh because it was like, okay, it was a funny thing to say.
He took it with that permission.
But that, you know, it's like, or you just don't you've never been to like a group experience before.
Right.
You know, it's in the same vein as clipping your toenails on a flight.
Oh, God.
Like we had that call last week of somebody being like, people are playing their kids' shit on iPads at level 25. What are you, like, no consideration for people around you. And I think people think, well, no one else is considering anyone, so why should I consider anyone? And then the problem just gets worse and worse and worse.
That's pandemonium, okay? We have to have some social constructs.
And then we're not a society anymore. We're literally like regressing back to like caveman times, but we have iPhones now.
Yeah.
You know?
But I wish that you were just blasting into a rock with another rock, man. I'd rather be doing that than looking at my social media. I'm gonna say it. I'd rather be a hunter-gatherer. Thank you.
Anyway, but I do wonder if there's like a difference just in like talking during movies. Of course, that's like socially unacceptable, right? But at movies that are like more campy and fun, is it okay?
It's a
like,
little bit.
I think that's why nobody said anything. Like nobody in the whole theater. It was a packed theater,
right? And I also feel like for instance, I went to go see Hokum yesterday, and we went with a bunch of friends, but it had a lot of jump scares, and I was with a lot of people that I allowed scream, and it is something, but not like. Like I do like, and over but no one can hear it unless you're sitting right next to me. I'm not screaming.
One time during The Conjuring, I screamed like a movie star.
Oh my God.
Like not a movie star, like a scream queen.
I bet you did it like a movie
something
star.
Something scared me so badly that I screamed in a way that I didn't know. A scream like that had never come out of my mouth. It was like so high pitched. I have a pretty low voice. Like it was so high pitched, and like I was so scared in the moment. Well, that's the only time I remember ever really screaming.
You may have scrumped at Hokum because there were quite a few.
That's why Hokum's never going to see this hoe.
There were quite a few jump scares, and it was there was a lot of just like, oh God, oh, and it was mostly jump scares.
This hoe is never coming to Hokum. Okay.
I would say phrasing, but we're just going to keep on going. We're not going to get into that. We're not going to talk about Adam Scott's face in it because there was just a lot of his face in it. But, I understand sometimes you got to get out a little scrumped, but every once in a while you can get one laugh, like a movie I saw not that long ago, Lee Cronin's The Mummy, where someone in the audience in the absolute silence went, and everybody laughed because they were genuinely like
grossed out,
gastrointestinally disgusted. And that was funny.
See, I can't go to a movie that would remotely gastrointestinally distress me. I can't.
No? Oh, you don't like Squish?
No. Squish is the worst.
You're not into you're not into any of the SFX.
Squish is the worst.
Man,
no. I even tell you, like, I think I've talked about, there's like the scene in Nope where a bunch of people are being murdered by an animal, and I close my eyes, and even hearing it, like, I still think about it, gives me like the squish and squamp and scrumph and scrunch and crunch and bunch. I did not like any of that.
Wow.
No. Like maybe nightmare job for me. My sister and I, you do this thing where we go, oh my God, nightmare job. Like we will point out jobs and go, that's what you do instead of sending me to prison.
Nightmare job.
You give me this job. And my job is like, I have to do like audio engineering for like horror movies.
Oh.
Like I have to, they're like, can we play that back again? Wait, I think we need to get a squishier.
Oh my God, that's so
my
the
nightmare.
opposite of what Henry did, because I think I've told you Henry did a lot of the voices not voices, but like some like squish and like creature sounds in Barbarian.
He did,
yeah, because we know the
guy,
the director, yeah, and so he did a lot of like the like.
Ew.
All that kind of stuff and so that is your nightmare job.
Wow, I can't believe I actually saw that movie and I didn't know that my friend was doing a lot of the spooking.
I also didn't know my brother was doing the spooking when seeing it too, and I was like, you didn't tell me. And then he said, well, it kind of would have ruined the movie. And I was like, oh.
Yeah,
I guess. Okay, fine. Fair.
Okay.
Fair.
All right, let's get into our solicited advice because we've gone off the rails, obviously, into Squish Town.
Oh, God, off the rails into Squish Town. I'm sorry.
Another place I do not want to visit. Okay, this is our first email. Hi, ladies. I recently discovered your podcast on a road trip with my sister, and now I feel like I have a situation that absolutely belongs here.
Okay.
The names have all been changed and a few details, okay, for privacy. I, Alex, was in a relationship last year. And by the way, Alex is a girl, which I know because the title of the email had something to do with lesbian drama. Okay.
Right.
I, Alex, was in a relationship last year that ended pretty badly after things became intense and crossed some boundaries. It got serious enough that it became a legal matter. And there are now legal boundaries in place that mean we are not supposed to interact or be near each other. We haven't spoken since.
Whoa.
Fast forward to now. I've moved on and I'm in a really healthy, happy relationship with my girlfriend, my current girlfriend, Sam, we'll call her. We just moved into a new apartment together and it was supposed to be this fresh, exciting chapter. While I was moving in, I suddenly saw my ex at the end of the alley near the building. We made eye contact, she walked away, and I just thought, okay, that was weird. But then I found out shortly after that she actually lives in the same building and apparently has for a while. I had absolutely no idea before moving in. And if I had known, I never would have chosen this place. So now I'm stuck in this awkward, uncomfortable situation where I'm trying to build a home with my partner. My ex lives in the same building despite there being legal boundaries that we're not supposed to be near each other. And I feel on edge in a place that I'm supposed to feel safe. I don't want to move. We just got here and everything else about it is perfect. But I also don't know how I'm supposed to just coexist like this without constantly worrying about running into her. So who's the bitch here? Is this just horrible luck, or is it fair for me to feel like this situation isn't okay? And more importantly, how would you handle living in the same building as an ex you're not meant to be around? Thanks for reading. I could definitely use both the advice and the laugh, Alex. I mean, geez, I don't think anybody is the bitch here because nobody knew. It's not like I guess my only question I want to know here is like, how big is the building? Is this like 8 units where like you all kind of know each other's business? Or is this like, because I lived in a building in WeHo when I lived in like a building in New York City that was like 8 units probably. And because it was New York, it's like I knew maybe 2 people and no one else. And we would see each other and barely say hi. And it was that was like New York.
Right.
In LA, I lived in maybe a 16 or 20 unit building. And I didn't know how most of the people, but I was friendly with a few people. And now I live obviously in a freestanding home.
My only concern is the fact that this ex that I'm assuming, am I to assume that this is the same ex with the legal matter?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Wouldn't that have something to do? I guess my question for you is, if you're not allowed to be around each other and whatever the boundaries are, could that be a use of being able to be like,
to get out of your lease, which I know you don't want to.
I know you don't want to move
because you just got there, but I have a hard time imagining how coming home every day and worrying that you're going to bump into this person that you have this extremely contentious relationship with is ever going to feel like a comfortable place.
Like coming home. And I
know you can't break leases, but like what Jackie's saying is like, I think I would ask,
or at least look into it.
I would ask a lawyer or like check the fine print of like, I'm assuming this is maybe a restraining order situation or an order of protection. And like, what is the footage? Is it 500 feet? Is it 1,000? Like, what's the footage? And like, cause I've heard about this before where it's like, I'm like, where did I hear about this? Oh, the Fred Savage episode of SVU. Because like, he is a rapist in that episode, but he demands to know where his victim is living because he's like, well, if I'm supposed to stay this far away from her, I have to know where she lives. But then it's like, how are you supposed to tell your rapist or your accused rapist at the time, like where you live? I know this is a different situation, but it's like, you're not required to report to her where you live and she's not required to do that to you either. And so this is like extremely bad luck.
Right.
And I would be looking for a new place to live, I would say.
I hate to say this. It's just, as someone that has generalized anxiety disorder, I couldn't imagine, and I don't think I could ever get to the place where I wouldn't feel uncomfortable coming home. Like, because then every time you come in and out, you might see this person. And because like, even you're bringing up, like, I currently live in like a 10 unit spot, but we all of our
entryways and garages
face each other.
Yeah.
So we see all of each other. We see each other every day. And so even just when you said like, I saw this person down the alley, I'm immediately thinking of like an LA type like back alley where it's like, oh, so are you going to see this person you might see this person every day coming and going from your apartment. Do you have the kind of anxiety like I do that might get me to a place where, and because I struggle with my anxiety, that I would stop leaving and wanting to go anywhere because I would be worried about seeing them. If you are not that person and you don't feel that way, I imagine this whole situation is feeling very differently.
I feel like it would throw you off. Even like you and your girlfriend are leaving to go get dinner. You're giggling. You're having a great time. Your arm is around her and you just see your ex. And even if it's brief and even if the ex doesn't even see you, doesn't that just send you into like a bit of like, and listen, if you're listening to us right now and you're going, what the hell? I've lived in a building with my ex. It's like, it's kind of different in this situation because there's a legal proceeding happening right now.
Yes.
Like, it's like if it was my ex-boyfriend, I would probably go up to them and be like, wow, this is crazy, huh? Like,
I didn't
hope
mean
it's
to
cool.
move in here.
Yeah, like, I hope it's cool. Like, let's just be chill or whatever. But you can't really have that conversation with this person. You're not supposed to talk with them.
No.
And obviously things got to a place that were so bad that the law is involved. And so that's not the same as just being like, damn, you really hurt me. Like there's something else going on here where legal stuff came into play. So,
also, we don't know how it ended up shaking out, but we will say that I imagine not that we shouldn't, we don't have to be in your ex's perspective right now, but if I were someone that had possibly a restraining order out against someone, and then I found out they moved into the building, regardless of you not knowing, I'd probably not be very happy about that either.
And is there a chance that she's gonna like report you for moving into her building? Like, I don't know.
And not that you are to speak to her about it or to find anything else about it. I just am saying to protect yourself, I would talk to a lawyer about your situation to make sure that you are also protected.
Because I would assume that you could take this to the management company and say, listen, there's a legal issue going on here and I didn't realize
I need my deposit back.
So I need to like I need to relocate. And like hopefully since it's a legal thing, they can break your lease, I guess. Like because I don't know, especially I don't know how long of a lease you signed, but this seems like it's not gonna be easy to you're like, what's your advice for it's totally fair for you to feel like the situation isn't okay. I don't have much advice to handle living in the same building with an ex because it's not like I said, if it was an ex that you were cordial with, you could be like, I don't know, you could be like, hey, what's up? Like nod in the parking lot and move on. And maybe that could start to feel okay. This is a different situation.
Right.
And there's no way to even coordinate. Hey, I go to work at 7 a.m. So like if you want to avoid me, I'll be here. I'll be leaving at the airport, like in the parking lot at this point.
But even then, it's so much because like, for example, across the way from me in my little area was two people that like lived catty corner from me that they were both in a relationship. They broke up. The place next door opened up, and to make their lives easier, one of them moved in next door. They still share a hallway. And so I don't know how that like it entered out of hallway just like the two of them because we're in like townhouses. And I don't know how they figured it out, but they've been living after they broke up, they've been living side by side each other for the last 4 years that I've watched.
And everybody has different breakups.
I know that's the thing.
Like,
I just never see them interact. That's for damn sure.
But like, this is really tricky. I know you were like, I would love the advice and the laugh. I'm like, I don't know how I can make this that funny because this seems really awkward.
Very upsetting
and I
for you.
feel bad for you. And like, you're so excited for this new start with your girlfriend.
Think of your new girlfriend, though,
and she's probably like, cool. I mean, that can't be comfortable for her either.
Exactly.
I would be really open about your feelings with your girlfriend and be like, I'm going to look into this. Like, would you be open to moving? Like, I don't know. It just seems like, and if you have to stay there, there's no getting out of the lease. There's no, it's financial. It's a million other reasons why you can't leave. I would speak
through a lawyer to like, I don't think that you cannot obviously speak to the ex.
But I'm saying just for general, like I would just try to get to a point where your sunglasses on, leaving the house, get to where you got to go. Maybe don't even like look around, like, I don't know, try to like sort of stay focused and like block outside stuff just until you get out of your building or till you get into your car so that like, so you're just protecting yourself from kind of like having your day ruined all the time if you see this person, which you might not see them every day, but just the anticipation
of possibly
seeing them every day would truly give me a stomach ache. And I feel like would be going on for it to go on for what? What if you guys love the place and get really settled in and you're there for like 5 years? Like, is that going to keep going on? Like, I don't see how that can work.
And also it's difficult to start living with someone in general. It's already difficult to do that.
Yeah, and then you're on edge.
And then on this on top of it, it's just, I feel like it's also not giving your new relationship the best beginning legs to stand on.
Yes, absolutely. That's a great point.
Great point. And I just feel like that's something that's going to be, and the more anxious you are both about it, it's not going to help either one of you in the relationship, and you're still just getting to know each other.
But like, let's say they really can't get out of it. I'm just kind of like, head down, get to your car, get in it. And then once you're in your house, make your house like the most welcoming, safe, lovely place that you feel.
I think that if, depending on who you are in the situation. Like, let's say like the other person was like the aggressor. Like, I'm not sure like what went on in your situation. But for me, I think that I would feel better if I couldn't leave, that I would either go through a lawyer or something to have something sent of like, this person lives here. You are aware of them living here. We are never to interact, like, you know, like that kind of thing. Like, I don't know what a lawyer could do, but I feel like if there was way,
I'm sure we have lawyers that are listening.
Yes,
like, tell us what we're supposed to do. Because
let us know.
What if you're taking out the trash at the
That's
same
what I'm
time?
saying, like of saying, like, we are to never speak to each other. We are never, and like to have something like that. But I don't even know what the legal ramifications
because it might not even be a restraining order. Like, we don't know the legal ins and outs of this situation. So, I guess. I'm just our thing is get the fuck out of there.
Get out of there.
Get out of
Try
there.
to get out of there.
But
and let us know.
Let us know. If you can't, we'll come up with some more ideas.
Yes, please. And then we'll try to come up with something, you know, pop on over to the bitchathon and then we can throw it to the chat.
Yeah, or like make sure that the management knows about what's going on of the building so that there's no weirdness. I don't know. This was a very interesting one. I had to read it.
Thank you so much, Alex, for reaching
thanks,
out.
Alex.
Really appreciate
I'm glad we
it.
could be on your road trip with you in your ear holes. Okay, let's get to our first voicemail.
Thank you for calling. Who's the bitch? Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Hi, I just called in a minute ago and I was a little scatterbrained, so I'm going to try and keep it a bit more organized this time. So I have been seeing a guy that I'm very into for the last couple of months. Turns out that he has a pretty serious criminal conviction in his background. He was in a DUI motorcycle accident that resulted in the death of his then girlfriend at the time, a few years ago, and just got out of prison. He was very upfront about all of this when I met him. It was like the first thing he told me. He pled guilty. He's, you know, doing everything he did a ton of therapy in prison. He's doing everything he can to, you know, turn his life around and move on from such a like horrific accident.
Yes.
Where my situation is that I have been telling my friends about him, and he was very encouraging that I should share everything and, you know, let them know his background so that I could get their opinion. So I did. I'm realizing now I probably should have waited until they actually like met him and saw us together, but I let them know right away. And as we got a little bit more serious, it's kind of come to a head with my friends not wanting to hear. They've expressed that they don't want to hear anything about my relationship, that they think that I'm kind of foolish for being with a guy with this in his past, that you know, there's a big age gap in his last relationship, and that is causing one of my friends to, even though we're in our 30s, to sort of be a bit judgmental on that front. And they're just not leaving me with much of an option of what to do to move forward with them, you know, as my friends. I am a little surprised and hurt by the very harsh judgment from them. I thought that they would be a little bit more open-minded, but I do understand that they have valid concerns, so I'm not trying to downplay that. I just sort of thought that if they did have valid concerns, they'd want to maybe meet him and see us together and, you know, get to know him so that they could see that this is honestly the best I've ever been treated in a relationship that I can remember. He's met my family. They think that things are great. You know, they're really psyched to see somebody just so supportive who like brags on me and makes me just feel good and cared for. I am sitting down with one of my friends tomorrow to sort of talk things out.
Whoa.
And I don't really know where to even begin. She's said a lot of really hurtful things to me over text over the last few days. Just like, what am I thinking? You know, how could I put myself in this situation, like be with somebody dangerous like this? And I just don't feel any of that. I know I've been kind of pulling away from them lately because every time we're together, I feel like I'm like hiding a part of my life, me and my boyfriend are going out and doing really fun things. I can't talk about it. I just am looking for some ways on how to talk to them to figure out how we can move forward with them not wanting anything to do with this part of my life. It makes me feel really judged and like they kind of think of me like I'm just this mess that, a couple comments have been made about how I always need a man to swoop in and save me, which I feel like I've done a lot of work on in therapy over the last year and is not true. Just some hurtful things have been said, and I really value and cherish these friendships and don't want to drive the wedge any further. I'm just not really sure how to proceed. Would love some advice. You guys give wonderful advice all across the board. So I hope you hear this, and I hope to hear back. Thank you.
Oh, this is so tough. We had one like this recently.
Yes.
Where someone had a boyfriend that had gotten out of prison, and it was a great relationship. Remember this one?
Yes.
And
I brought up because I was talking about someone that recently I had met who had lost all of his 20s to just a silly, to a mistake that he made when he was 18 and then went away for 10 years because they threw the book at him, and then like him putting together his life after that, and what a difficult time, and how no one that goes through the penal system is supported or set up for any kind of success after their release. And I feel that it is something that your friends are not thinking about. And I think that I guess I'm happy for them that they've never interacted with someone that has gone through and been destroyed by the penal system the way so many lives have, and that they can't even give him a fucking shot. That pisses me the fuck off about your friends. Especially, it would be one thing if the background was a different background. While it was his fault, it was a mistake. It was not something, and even then, if that happened a very long time ago, people can grow, people can change. The one thing that made my ears raise was when you brought up that your friend said, you always need a man to come in and save you. I then wonder, does this not have anything to do with this specific man? And do your friends have issues with you and the people that you choose and the way that you have your love life? And it seems like they have some judgments about that. So I do wonder if, while, yes, they are harping on the fact that he's quote unquote dangerous, which again, I'd love some more background. Like, is it just because of the DUI? Is that or are they hearing other stories about his time in prison that you're not sharing here? But I don't think that they are. Are they just making assumptions? And it seems, in the way that our caller describes it, it seems that they are making assumptions based on things that they have not heard anything about.
Yeah.
And that would really upset me about the closed-mindedness of my friends.
Because, I mean, like, I can see that they might be thinking about it from, like, the point of view of, like, he made this mistake that cost this girl her life. I mean, yes, he also lost his girlfriend at the time, who you would assume is someone that he loved. So he went punished. He went through not only a trauma of being responsible for someone's death, like that he had to go to prison, but he had to like emotionally grapple with the fact that, he's responsible for the loss of someone's life and he made this huge mistake. And I just don't understand people. Like, I'm really wondering if like your friends are like Christian, because like it's giving like the judgmental that I hear all the time, like there are bad people and there are good people, and like the black and white of it. And like, you did one thing bad when you were 12. I mean, it's like, I don't want to give any spoilers at this point, but it's been out for a while, but we just saw the movie The Drama, and it was just like the way that people just are like, no, you once did a horrible thing, and that is who you are forever.
Forever.
And not allowing people to change, and not allowing the justice system to do what it is supposed to do and what it fails to do most of the time, which is rehabilitate people. Like,
Right.
it is supposed to be you are punished for what you've done, and then you are supposed to be like sent out having quote unquote paid for your crimes, but instead people are set out all the time with zero resources.
Can't get
Recidivism is huge.
jobs, can't
Like,
get no support.
Commit worse crimes than they were even in jail for the first time because they get no support. Like that, the justice system of it all aside, these are, I mean, is this how your friends feel about other people as well? Like, are they like, oh my God, well, ever since so-and-so cheated on so-and-so, she's out of my life forever. Like,
Right.
people make mistakes. People are human. Like, have your friends never made any mistakes?
I guess
I understand maybe your friends have never made a mistake that led to someone's death. That's obviously very on one side of the mistake spectrum, but it's still like like,
Haven't we all learned and grown about something? I feel like, and if you haven't, are those friends you still want to have? Because I think that if there were something that if I were harshly judging someone and someone were to bring to my attention, like, hey, do you remember how, like, some of the things you used to say and some of the ways you used to act? Do you still act the way that you did when you were 21? You probably don't. You probably act differently. How can you not give that grace to another human being that has, like you even said, your partner has had years of therapy, genuinely working on it, trying to make a better life for himself, and he's supposed to be denied that forever? And is that truly what your friend thinks? And is that, again, the kind of friend you want to maintain? Not that I'm saying that we should choose a partner over all your friends. I'm not saying that. But
she also says, and I do understand that they have valid concerns. So you're not trying to downplay their concerns. Like, what are the concerns that he still drinks?
Yeah, what are the
concerns? That he still drinks and like we're worried about him being still a person who drinks or does whatever he was under the influence of doing when this accident happened.
Or if you're concerned about creating a full relationship with someone because you know that the penal system just dumps people out and gives and provides no support, is that what they're nervous about for you? Of like of you guys
that
starting
he
a life
has had
together,
trauma from prison,
right?
Yeah.
Which also also it's very difficult that once you apply saying that you've been in prison for something, most people just say con and they won't hire you. So there's also a lot. It's like, are those what their concerns are? Like, or is it just he's dangerous? I want to know more about that. I'm also very curious. You said that you were going to go and talk to your friend about it. How did that go?
That has already happened.
How did it go?
So I would love to know how that went. I just think it's like I've been in plenty of friendships with people where they introduce me to the person they're dating and I'm like, you got to be kidding me here. Like, really?
And then I just don't hang out with their partner anymore.
But yeah, or I bring it up to my friends in little ways like, hey, does this happen a lot? Like, or how does that make you feel when he says that to you or when he does that? Like,
but they're not even around him.
But for your friend to be just firing off mean text messages for you, like to you.
Without even meeting him?
Without meeting this guy, like that to me is really judgy with like that's cloaked in concern, but is just really
it's very
bitchy behavior. And I would say that that's okay for you to take a step back from a friend like that and explore your relationship. Don't have to like cut off. You don't have to say I'm not friends with you anymore. But like that's really, really shitty behavior to just have someone yelling at you going, I can't believe you would do this. Like, what?
That and either if this is a friend
you're not dating Elon Musk. I mean, it's like,
and if this is a friend that you want to keep, I think that I would say, and I don't like that you're speaking to me this way. I don't like if you have an issue with something I'm doing.
Stand up for yourself a little bit with them and go, the way that you guys are giving me your quote unquote feedback about a person you've never met is really harsh and feels judgmental.
And I don't hear it when you say it like that.
And I think I do agree with you. You should have let them meet him first before you told them. And if you're going to introduce him to any other friends, introduce them, let them experience him, meet him, make their own first impressions, because it is really hard to meet someone and form a fully unbiased first impression when you've got their criminal record in your head.
Yes.
You know? So I would say for any future friends that are going to meet him, let them meet him first. But like, yeah, I don't like the way your friends are handling this.
Because this is the thing. I've definitely had friends where I didn't necessarily agree with all of their decisions, especially when with whom they choose to date. But at the same time, there's a time and a place and a way in which to say it. If you truly feel like a friend is in trouble, if you truly feel that a friend is in need of someone saying, hey, maybe you shouldn't be with this person. But again, there is a way in which to do it where someone will not just shut off. Being like coming in and pointing fingers, that does nothing. It's not going to do anything. So if this is someone you really, truly care about, again, and I know that it's like a lame phrase, but going to someone with grace, I think is it.
Yeah. And try to keep your cool. Like, try to just be calm. Don't yell back. But like, just the way you're coming at me feels really judgmental. And I understand that you guys care about me. But if you did, I think you would take the time to meet the person that they literally have zero faith in your ability to pick a partner right now. They have no faith. They've not met him. They've heard one thing about him and decided you're insane for picking this person. I don't know. We all have to be a little bit more, give people more grace. I know,
it is just understanding where each other is coming from and knowing that, like, if I'm spoken to like that, how would I feel?
Yeah.
And it's so many people that don't think outside of themselves for a second. So that's why we come to those experiences. If someone's coming at you with stuff like that, you come at them with even more patience and accepting of, that's not getting us anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. But let us know what happened with the friend at the chat and what you've been doing. And I hope that you and your partner are happy and that hopefully he's not drinking. And because I think even if he didn't have like a specific problem, he had a problem at some point, like it was a problem.
Yes.
And hopefully,
he got to a point where he thought that he could still drive the motorcycle when drunk. I mean, it's like, so that is
not good.
Not good.
Yeah.
But he learned. I mean, I think he learned, hopefully.
Yeah. So let's get to our next email. This email truly written for me.
Ooh,
and I can't wait to talk about it.
You've got
Greetings and salutations, ladies. I'm a day one bitchling and longtime fan of you both. Hello and thank you. I truly can't overstate how much I look forward to having you in my ears every Wednesday. One day I will finally force my husband to take over bedtime so I can join a bitchathon. But let's get into my bitchuation. I have a daughter starting kindergarten this fall, and we live in Los Angeles. So naturally, there are a lot of options. Honestly, maybe too many. Where I grew up, you just went to the school closest to your house, and that was that. As we've explored our options, it's become clear my husband and I have some fundamental disagreements. Our local elementary school is just a few blocks away. We toured it, and it seemed fine. Maybe under-enrolled and under-resourced, but the staff and teachers were warm, dedicated, and clearly doing their best. The test scores, however, are mixed. We also applied to a few dual language programs and got into one nearby with a French immersion track. It's a lovely little school with strong test scores, but it felt a bit smaller than what I had envisioned, and the program is relatively new, and it seems like they're still working through a few growing pains. Then there's a third option. A friend of ours lives within the boundaries of a highly sought-after elementary school. Great reputation, strong parent involvement, excellent resources, and top-tier test scores. She's offered to let us use her address so our daughter could enroll there. It could also mean continuity, since many of her current preschool classmates are going. To me, this feels like a no-brainer. My husband, however, has completely vetoed the idea. He believes that opting out of our neighborhood schools contributes to the very inequalities we're concerned about. He's also uncomfortable with the deception involved and doesn't think it's fair to put our daughter in that position. And I get it. I really do. I admire his values. But I also feel strongly that our responsibility is to give our daughter the best opportunities available to her. And, practically speaking, I know that if we choose our under-resourced local school, a lot of the burden of improving that experience, fundraising, volunteering, advocating, will fall on me, not him. So I'm stuck. Am I the bitch for prioritizing access and opportunity, even if it contributes to a larger systemic issue? Or is my husband the bitch for holding the line on principle, even if it might limit what's possible for our daughter? Cheers and thanks, Tim.
Tim.
Also, can I just say the way that you wrote this, I feel like you could be my teacher. I was just like, yes, I'm with you. I have never read an essay that I was so just like, I'm only Tim. I'm all Tim.
Okay, Tim. I need you to turn off our podcast and listen to a podcast called Nice White Parents that came out, I believe, from the New York Times a few years ago. And that podcast completely changed how I feel about the education system in this country.
Whoa.
And how I am parenting my children and sending them to school. I'm obsessed with you writing into this because I'm sure you know I live in LA. I send my kids to our local school. Our local school is Title I, which means that a certain percentage, which is a large majority of our students, are low income. And because of that, we receive some extra funding from the government. But it's very similar to what you described. Our school is very similar to what you described in option 1, which is that it is a good school, local. It's close by. It's in our community. The teachers are great. It does not have a lot of the bells and whistles that you would see at another school. We are flanked by other schools that are extremely, and I'm not going to make any inferences about your race or your financial socioeconomic background. These are very white schools. They have huge fundraisers. They are working with huge budgets. Every family gives hundreds of dollars at the beginning of every year. And I'm going to be the president of the PTA at my school yesterday. And literally, I think one parent could give what our entire budget is at these other schools. Do you know what I mean? So, and here's the reason.
A lot of it does fall on you.
Yes. So I understand what you're saying with that. And I also had the opportunity to send my kids to those schools. And I had the opportunity to use friends' addresses. And I am so against it because I feel like we talked about at the beginning of this podcast, this hyper individualism that is like, we do not need to work as a society anymore. We do not need to work as a group of people living together anymore. It's get yours, dog eat dog. And I get that. And I understand, I grew up to some extent in going to public school, but going to really, really top-notch public schools where it was who's getting into the best college and who's driving the best car and stuff like that. And I cannot tell you how happy I am to not send my kids to a school like that. My kids go to school with their neighbors. We walk to school. They wave to people that they know every morning. They can do play dates with kids that live right around the area and our tax money is going into our local school. And me as a person who has a more flexible job as a podcaster, comedian, writer, I have been able to dedicate more of my time to the school because I can. And I have already in 2 years, I'm not saying it's all me, it's a dedicated group of a few parents that have really worked. I've already seen in 2 years massive improvements to the school. Huge. That's what it takes. It takes people saying, this is my local school, this is my community, and I'm invested in it. And let me also just say, it's elementary school. It's elementary school. I do think a lot of these things change when you get into middle school and high school.
Right.
But it's elementary school. And I think there's such an opportunity for you to, and that sucks. I think you should speak to your husband about how you feel and say, I feel if we do go to X school, that I'm going to be the one that has to do the volunteering and the fundraising and this and that. And why not you? Why not split? I say that to my husband all the time. I'm like, most of us that are doing everything are the women on the PTA and stuff. But I've gotten him more involved. I'm like, get over here. You got to do more stuff. There's definitely ways that, and I mean, you guys, I'm judging since your name is Tim and you're talking about your husband, that you guys are a gay couple. And I think that's I'm talking a little bit differently because I'm talking about more of a heteronormative splitting of things. But it sounds like you are the one in your relationship that goes to do more child-related, or volunteering and stuff like that. Why? Get him involved. The other thing is, test scores are mostly bullshit. Test scores, in a lot of ways, it really depends on the test scores, but a lot of them can be racially affected, economically affected. I think you go to a school, you feel it out. You feel like, what does this feel like? Does this feel like a place where my kid is going to be exposed to different kinds of kids? Do I like the parents? Do I, or like, or like, not do I like the parents? Like,
just the community.
The community.
Of it. Yes.
The community. Do I like the teachers, the staff, the principal? Like, it's the feel of the school. Like, we have the school that I'm a part of. Like, when I first got there, I was like, oh, okay, like they need a lot of help. And we've done a bunch to help. There's so much more to be done. But I never once like thought about a test score really. Because
is that what changed after you listened to that podcast episode? Is that what
I think I listened to that podcast before I had children.
Really?
To be honest. That podcast is basically about a New York City parents who will dive bomb into schools that are public and go, we're changing them, we're making them better, and then completely take them over without talking to the current people who live there. I'm not trying to do that at my school. Like, I'm really working alongside with like people that have grown up in that neighborhood. I work alongside moms who went to that school when they were kids. So I'm trying to do I know I'm a gentrifier in my neighborhood.
Right.
I'm trying to do a very like non-gentrifying helping situation at our school because I'm invested in public education. And I could have used a friend's address, or I have friends who have purchased property so that their kids can go to other schools.
Seems like a lot of anxiety.
And it's like,
because I will throw that out there that someone that I know that my brother has a home in a space that has a very like well-liked middle school and high school, and he gets offers of people just being like, can I just pretend I'll pay you money every month just to pretend that I live here if I could just use your and it's just like, because people get so desperate.
I have a friend that bought a house so her kid doesn't live in it, rents it.
That's great.
So that her kid can go to a different elementary school. I mean, and that's like wealth or whatever. And in that friend situation, I will say that is also a gay couple, and they, I guess, had certain feelings about certain communities accepting them as a gay couple. If that's one of your issues, you did not express that here, and that's obviously something I totally think is valid. But I think it's like, think about, I just love exposing my kids to kids from all different backgrounds, kids that she's in a dual language program, kids that speak Spanish at home, kids that don't speak Spanish at home, kids that come from all different socioeconomic and family backgrounds.
We always went to public
school. Some live in multi-generational homes, some don't. Like, it's very... And she's doing great. Like, she's truly thriving because I think so much education happens at home as well. Test scores are something that people latch onto, and I just don't think, especially in elementary school,
I was about to say
that it is completely valid. A lot of the test scores are like this program called iReady, and the kids fly through it because they want to get rewards. They don't always, I could do a separate podcast about this, so I'm not going to keep going on this. I just think I'm having a hard time because I'm so aligned with your husband. So I'm not going to say that you are the bitch, because you wanting the best for your kid is absolutely amazing. But I think your husband holding the line, more people need to hear that. Like, more people need to support public education. People are like, this school sucks and public education is going down the tubes because of things like this, because of people leaving their district, going to charter schools, going to private schools, not supporting public education. And it might not look like this perfect little school that maybe you grew up with, or I'm the same as the writer. Tim, I'm the same as you. We went to the school that we were zoned for. You just went. In LA, it's a freaking gauntlet.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And you can absolutely choice your kid into, that's the process here. It's called eChoices. You can choice your kids into that French program. And that sounds great too, if that's really what you want. And
I'm going to throw it out there though. I feel like, depending on what they want to do, I feel like it's better to learn Spanish too, if you're, I think that is.
If you live in LA.
If you live in LA.
But we live very close to a French immersion elementary school that a lot of people go to and are very happy with. I wonder if you live in my neighborhood. I'm like, do you live in my neighborhood? Are these our schools that we're talking about?
It's just Caillou. That's, I think, why I'm immediately like, you don't want them to become Caillou.
No, but Caillou, you talked about this last
I know. I'm always thinking about Caillou.
Or was that on page 7? I forgot. But I just think that I don't know. It's kind of like ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Like what are ways that your family could improve like this school and this community and be part of it, as opposed to like backdoor sneaking your kid into a better school so that they can be around a lot of people that are just like you and and get the best test scores and whatever, and have like a PTA that raises like $250,000 and all this stuff. Like, great. And like, there will be more resources. And I'm not going to speak for any kid. Like, some people will probably be listening to this right now being like, well, my kid has an IEP, or my kid needs to be at this certain school for this reason, or they need smaller classroom sizes. Like, I'm not going to make any decisions for you and your child. Obviously, in the end, that's it. But like, I think your husband has got it. Like, there's going to be a million ways that I can already tell by how you write and how much care you have for your child that you already are providing your kid with privileges that other kids don't have. I can already tell. Like, so don't get so wrapped up in these test scores. Tour these schools, see what feels like the best fit. But also, don't go to some school where you feel like you're like, well, I wrote into a podcast, now I feel like I have to do charity for my school or whatever.
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
remember,
I love being at this school and feeling like even these little things I'm doing with my free time is helping and bringing better resources and better stuff to the school. Like, public education is in a tough spot right now. The government has dismantled the Department of Education. It's tough, but I'm glad that you are going with public school either way, but it's like we're almost creating private school situations. We're almost further stratifying. I mean, Choices was created, the whole way that we do things in LA was created to end segregation, but it's the white, rich families that know how to game the system. Like, there's a system for middle school where you've got to basically apply to schools you know you'll never get into, like the best schools in LA, like that are in Brentwood. You apply to those so that you get rejected, so that you earn points, so that you can go to schools nearby that you want to go to later, and you accrue all these points. Do you think all the families know how to game the system like that? They don't. The white families do.
Just remember, too, that and I think that we get a little myopic here in Los Angeles. Remember that it's not like this everywhere. Like, do also remember that LA is so specific. I know that it's difficult everywhere to get into, but it's like here it's so cutthroat and it's so like, but what about my child's future? And
but like, I think it's the same in probably New York and Chicago
big cities,
and big cities. Yes. I'm sure everybody is like, everyone wants the best for their kids. Like, everybody, like, I don't know. I don't want my kids to go to Harvard. I can't afford it. Like, so I'm like, I want my kids to get the best they can. But I'm saying, like, listening to Nice White Parents, reading about some of this stuff, and has honestly really changed a lot of how I was raised, which was get the best, do the best, the best, because I think there's other ways we can give our kids the best that don't involve like cheating. And like, it is kind of cheating what you're talking about. Using a friend's address is cheating. And I'm against that. So I don't think it's giving your kid the best. Like, is it giving your kid the best to like steal money at your job so that you can pay for her to take piano lessons? Do you know what I mean? Like, what do we start teaching our kids? Like, is she at one point going to say, why don't I go to that school right there? And you're going to say, what? Oh, it's just not that good. And we wanted you to go to this better school. So we lied and got you, you know, like, pretend you have to tell your kid how you did it, you know? There's nothing wrong with the first two options, the underfunded school that you're talking about, which is more like my school, or the you know, French immersion one that, you know, you're like, they're still working out a few growing pains. It's like, okay, why don't you be part of that? Like,
part of the
be part of that, you know? So sorry, I'm so specifically like invested in this that maybe I'm being a bitch right now. I just think I'm so on your husband's side, and I think you should prioritize like teaching your kid about the world around them and like educating them in so many ways that you can educate them at home that doesn't involve, you know, opting out of being part of your community.
Just remember, put up a picture of Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin to remind yourself of the college admissions scandal, all right?
Jesus.
And just think of how they threw the book at them, all right? We don't want to be the Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin.
And supposedly they do send... Supposedly in LA, they do send people around sometimes to check people and see if they live at places. But I've heard of it. But anyway, let us know what you decide, Tim. If you feel like writing me back and telling me what neighborhood you live in, I'd love to give you specific opinions on schools about I've heard of.
And she will.
If you live remotely near me. But Yeah.
Cheers, though.
And
Let us
thank
know
you
what
for
happens,
being
please.
like open to like, talking about this and wanting to do like the right thing for your kids. And let your husband listen to this and tell him I'm on his side. Okay. We love you, Tim, and thank you for being a day one
Thank
bitchling.
you, Tim.
Okay, let's listen to our next voicemail.
Thank you for calling. Who's the bitch? Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Hi, Jackie and Kara. Sorry about my first voicemail. I got nervous and had to start over. So, please help me deciding who's the bitch in this situation. I'm at my gym. I finish my workout. I change into my towel to go into the dry sauna for a little sesh. It's a smaller sauna. It has seats along one side of the wall, bleacher-style seats, one on top of the other, and 6 comfortably, not shoulder to shoulder, 6 people could probably fit on each row. So it's a smaller sauna. Comfortably, though, about 5 people could fit, and that's how many people were in there. I walk in. There's already 4 people. At this point, should I have turned around already? Am I the bitch there for even entering whenever it already was kind of, people would have had to scoot over for me to get in there? 2 people are sitting down. 2 people are working out. One woman is doing lunges, split lunges on the first seat of the wooden sauna, and the other woman is on the top bleacher seat. I don't even know what. I can't look at her because I'm already uncomfortable. The only place to sit is in front of the woman who's working out on the top bleacher seat. And every movement, the wood is creaking and it's doing squats, and you can hear you can hear it all. There's so many noises happening. No. The sauna is supposed to be a nice, quiet, relaxing place, So I'm already pissed off, but I'm not saying anything, and I don't say anything. But then this woman's sweat drips on me from above, and I feel it because I'm in the towel. Everybody else is clothed, and I can feel it dripping on
they're
me.
They're
as
clothed
she
in the
works out
sauna?
and grunts behind me and does her lunges in the sauna, in the hot, dry sauna. And then the other woman's just working out. So who's the bitch who's the bitch in this situation? Am I the bitch for going into an already crowded sauna? Am I the bitch for not judging, but kind of these women for working out in the sauna? Or are they the bitch? Because we're supposed to be relaxing and not grunting and not sweating on other people and feeling it drip on us. Let me know. And I'm the only one that wears a towel in the sauna. Everybody else wears clothes. Am I weird for that?
No.
Thank you guys. Bye. Love you guys. You guys are so great. Thanks for the joy you bring everybody once a week. You're the best. Thank you. Bye.
Wait a minute. The clothes in the sauna is freaking me out.
That's crazy. You're not supposed to. I thought you don't wear clothes
Why
in the
would you
sauna.
want to be wearing clothes in the sauna?
I thought that's
I
that's
thought
what you
people
don't
were
do.
either naked or in a towel. I don't think you're weird for wearing a towel. I would probably wear a towel. I don't think I would go naked, but I also don't judge anyone that goes naked.
No, because we're
I
in a
thought that's what
sauna.
you're supposed to do. Okay, I think you need to speak. I'm not to be a Karen. I think you need to speak to the gym employees and be like, can we have like a policy for the sauna? I thought the sauna is supposed to be a sit and relax place. People should not be working out in the sauna. That's crazy to me. And dripping sweat on other people, that's like, I would just go to the gym and be like, people are working out in the sauna, which is taking up too much space, and they're dripping sweat on other people, which feels unhygienic. Like, I don't want that. Can we put up a sign that says like,
no
the
working
sauna
out in
is
here?
for sitting? Sauna is for sitting?
Only?
Yeah, I don't think you're the bitch for going in there because you said there were 4 people. Look, I'll shove myself into an elevator that's full. Like, so I can't tell you you're a bitch for going into being the 5th person in a sauna that you think can fit 6 people, I think is totally fine.
I just think it really is truly, like, I understand. At first, it was like, why the hell would someone work out in there? I get it. I guess it's like
but go do a hot yoga class. That's not what the sauna's for. I do a hot sculpt class.
And you go to the class.
Hot as hell where I'm doing yoga, I'm doing light weights. I'm not in that place has a sauna, and then people go in there
afterwards. Yeah, you're not in there doing squats in the sauna. No, I think I would go to speak to someone that works there of like a,
can we get a couple sauna etiquette rules? We need some sauna etiquette
up there. I also would be very annoyed.
You're trying to relax and get a steam, and someone's freaking grunting and doing Bulgarian lunges, like whatever.
I don't think so.
Get out of here.
Get your split squats right out of here, y'all. There are other spaces to do it.
Right. This person doesn't want to pay for a hot yoga gym.
I think that's
yoga studios are more expensive than like a gym.
Gotta be what it is. But also, too bad,
Yeah.
so sad. Then find a gym with a bigger sauna,
I'd
guess,
say
you freak.
the most activity I would allow in there is some light stretching.
Sure.
Light stretching I'll allow.
Sure.
That's it.
But still, what do you want to sit on the floor naked doing some light stretches?
Well, they're all in their clothes.
I'm surprised by that. It's part of I'm going to say
Your
it as
gym
someone
is full of freaks.
I'm not a big like public nude kind of person, so I don't usually go into a sauna.
I don't
because of
really
it.
sauna either, but when I have saunaed, I feel like I've been in a bathing suit or a towel.
Or in a towel.
The clothes is freaking me out, but to each their own, I guess. I mean, there's men at my gym that work out in jean shorts.
I imagine also some people would be like, oh my God, Jackie and Kara, it's a public sauna. But I guess I'm also going to say, I think I've only ever been in public saunas. So I feel that.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's a gym sauna, but I would say towel is
then.
what I think.
Yes, I think.
But look, remember the Sex and the City episode where Charlotte was so scared of taking her towel off in the sauna because all the women were naked?
Yes.
And then she ends up taking off her towel and someone compliments her breasts. And
So she feels fine.
It's all body positivity because all these thin women are telling each other the beautiful things about their bodies because everyone in the scene is like a size 2 max.
Of course.
But anyway, I'm being sarcastic if you're not catching that. I think
we caught
you
it,
got to let
Kara.
me know what happens. You need to go to the gym people and ask them what's up because
Yeah, I would. Because even the way that you're laughing about it too, I'm just like, at that point, you got to go talk to somebody. That's crazy.
Yeah. Let's do one more quickie because this is just a little quickie from Instagram.
Oh,
This
give
is
me
a
a
DM.
quickie.
This is a DM. I'll read quickly. Hi, I heard you read DMs on the podcast, so I figured as a very recently diehard fan, I'd throw my hat into the ring here.
Welcome.
Feel free to say my name, Nate. So I'm in a bit of a situation at work. Long story short, this dude I sometimes see at work he wrote Grindr profile, which is so funny. I'm pretty sure he means grinder.
Grinder.
And maybe he wrote Grinder so that it wouldn't get like, I don't know, does it get censored to talk about Grindr on Insta? Anyway, someone found my Grindr profile, and just today he asked for my number. I gave it to him to be nice, but here's the thing. Who's the bitch, hosts and listeners? He's not at all my type. I mean, he asks me how my day's going and all that, but physically, it's going to take a minute for me to warm up to this kind of gentleman. I really only got back on Grindr to get over my ex-girlfriend from last summer. I'm pan if that means anything. And have dipped my toes once again into my slut era. Am I being kind of a bitch for being picky with this guy? I mean, I work with him 3 days out of the week, so that'll be weird. The last 2 guys at work I tried to get something going with, they legit quit after a week of whining and dining me.
Oh my God.
So maybe I have some kind of curse or something. Am I the bitch for not completely entertaining this solely based on my lack of physical attraction to this guy? Or should I go forward with this guy only because he's the only guy I've come across on this godforsaken app who actually asks me how my day was, and I can be honest when it's a shitty day? Also, sorry for weird grammar. I'm tipsy.
Hell yes.
I'm a Space Dust IPA girly myself. I know y'all are fiending for the Buzzball sponsorship. I like them. I don't drink them all the time. They're not my go-to, but I like them. Take care. Jackie is so funny, and I want to thank y'all for keeping me sane at work.
Love you.
Thanks, Nate.
Uh-oh. What about Kara, Nate?
Nate,
what
I'm
about
sitting
Kara?
right here.
Well, please, you have to. I know that you're busy on Grindr,
Nate.
but you have to also
It's fine.
compliment Kara.
It's fine. I don't care. Jackie is very funny. Let her have her flowers.
But also, Kara, you're also very funny.
I don't. And if Nate doesn't think so, that's fine. Some people are Jackies and some people are Kara's, and that's totally fine.
And some people are both.
And some people are bi for us. Bi
Thank
for
you.
us. Okay. Here's the thing. Jackie,
I think that you shouldn't shit where you eat if you feel this way. I think that it is. I feel that.
don't. But also, if you're not attracted to this guy, why would you force yourself to be attracted to someone?
Because I understand. Because sometimes it is nice to even just be seen as a person and just be asked how your day is. You're right, and it's sad that our bar does have to be that low sometimes.
I think you should text him though, or meet up with him for a beer, a Space Dust IPA.
Dust, yes.
And you should go. I just want to tell you, I'm not feeling it romantically with you, but I really, really like you.
like
And can we hang out? Like, I want to be friends. Like, let's go to bars together and be each other's wing guys. Like, let's do that.
Or
Like,
maybe not even saying
that is fun too.
Because maybe, who knows, something could happen in the future. You know, we could have like a, while you were awake, while you were sleeping kind of thing. You know,
I
that
just
maybe
think
you end
it's
up
like-
falling in love. Who knows?
I just think if it's like if you
friends-
immediately look at somebody and the physical is like not for you, then I mean,
it depends on the person though, because
Yeah.
I've definitely pushed past that and have had like really great experiences with people. But I also, it
I
was
have to say
specific
something
people.
controversial, which is I think that women do that more than men do. I think a lot of times men are more attached to like physical
I'm not gonna say you're
stuff,
wrong.
and that women sometimes are like. I mean, my friend went on a date with her 5 dates with her husband before she even started to like him. Do you know what I mean? And like, I don't think men typically. I'm sure many of you are screaming at your phones or your dashboards right now if you're driving, going, "That's not true." I do. I just think typically, to generalize, men are more hung up on physical stuff, and they are across. I find gay men are. I find straight men are. I find pan and bi. Like it's just like there's a physical aspect that men can't really
Get
get past. And women are much more like it's the person. I think that's why you meet a lot more women that are bi and stuff, even though there are plenty of men that are bi and pan. Like
Yes.
I think you meet because women are more into the emotional.
The experience
Yes.
of it all and the whole package of it all. And I just feel like it's already difficult to shit where you eat, that it should be like an experience where it's just like, no, I really want this. And we both want this. And we both,
Yeah.
it's just, it's already adds a layer of difficulty that you don't
Because of the
need.
work.
Yes. That I do feel like that you don't need to do, just like don't add the
Yeah.
drama into your life, but also maybe you could add a friendship into your life, and that, who knows, maybe hook up someday. Who knows? We
I just
know
don't
what's gonna
think you're
happen.
being picky.
Yeah.
You're like, am I being a bitch for being picky?
No.
You don't have to fuck everybody that says, "How's your day?"
Yeah,
You know, like,
And also, you don't have to be sexually attracted to everybody just because they're kind of nice to you. It's just our bar is in hell,
yes,
Nate.
online dating and online apps are like nightmare town right
I
now.
told you that I have a friend of mine that will not go on a first date, and she is unfortunately heterosexual, and she will not go on a first date unless, if she's talking to a man, unless he asks her more than one question about herself. She will not go on the date, and she hasn't been on a date, I think, in 10 months.
Well, that
So
is a
I
problem.
understand.
That is a problem with guys on online dating a lot, is that they don't ask any questions, and so I get why this guy is like. I mean, Grindr, I know also can be for dating, but it can also just be for hooking up. So if you're feeling like, God, it's been a long time and I just want to hook up with somebody, great. I wouldn't do it with this guy you're going to see at work all the time who's clearly interested in you. I wouldn't do that. But don't be like, oh, this app sucks so bad, so I just have to like take what I can get. But if you like this guy and you like that he asks you how you are and you have nice conversations, then start a friendship.
Yes.
That's totally fine and cool. And go, hey, Grindr fucking sucks. Why don't you and I go out on Saturday night and like try to meet some people
Let's go
IRL?
out.
Like, let's go out. Let's do it. Like being work friends with someone who you like also go out and like try to find, wingman for each other is cool. Hooking up and feeling uncertain about it while you're in like a slut era, it does feel like it's just going to get into complicated. And you are cursed
brain.
after your last 2 relationships did that.
Yeah, so
Let's keep it out of work.
until you break the curse. Why keep the curse going when we can try to break it instead?
Nate, I love you, and I love your drunk, your tipsy DM to us will always live in my heart, even though you did not compliment me in any way.
And that's why it will live in her heart. So
will live in my black heart, and I will find you, Nate. I'm just kidding. No, this was great. And thank you to everybody who wrote in. Thank you to all of our submissions. Everybody, I'm sorry if we don't get to yours. Another excuse to call us or for the bitchathon or call and leave an email.
On June 11th.
Yes. Who'sthebitch.com is the way to get all submissions to us. Our voicemails have a 5-minute limit.
Anytime.
And our DMs and emails. The emails have no limit, but I'll tell you, some of you guys are writing emails that are just simply too long for us to read.
And that's okay. We cut them down.
We can cut them. You could cut them down.
Yeah.
I know you know how to say things in a more succinct way.
Yes.
Let's treat it as an exercise. But
And we believe in you.
We believe in you. And if you want to follow us, we are Who's the Bitch LPN on Instagram. And
Come
we've got
find
bitch
us.
slits up there. We've got all kinds of fun content. So please follow us. That's where you can submit.
We love hearing from you
Comment.
guys. Thank you.
Tell us we were wrong. That's a great place to tell us we were wrong. Come to the Instagram.
And don't forget too, if we answer your problem and something like crazy happens afterwards, don't forget to give us follow-ups.
We love the update.
Love updates.
Every once in a while, we do an update episode, and we love an update. So definitely let us
please.
know. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.